friends. It is it's night time, and I wanted to go ahead and get some bone broth going to cook all night. And what I have in my big roaster is 2 leg bones from a half a cow that I had processed a couple weeks ago. And I put the leg bones in on a sheet pan and roasted them in the oven on 350 for about 2 hours to get a brownness to them. That I don't really know that it enhances the flavor as much, but it gives you that deep brown stock flavor. And to this, I've just got bones and water in here. I've quartered 3 small onions, and I'm putting the peels and all in it. Then I'm going to put about a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of black pepper, and about 4 bay leaves. These are small. I'll do that many. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to let it cook on low, about 200 degrees all night long. And then tomorrow we will can it up. Hey friends, it's the next day. I just got home from work. I let my bone stock, my beef bone stock, cook all night last night on low, about 225, and today while I was at work, and this is what it looks like. It smells awesome. Oh, it smells so awesome. So now we're going to get to work on canning it. I have ran some hot, fuzzy water in my sink with 12 canning jars. I don't know how many it's going to make, but a case has 12 in it, so that is what I'm doing. I'm going to wash every one of these really good with hot, soapy water. And then I'm going to rinse them really good. Okay, I have washed and rinsed real good my 12 jars. I'm putting 7 in my jars because my canner will hold 7 quarts. I have put them on a cookie sheet, and I set my oven for 170, and I'm going to let them stay hot while we get everything else done. Hey, okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strain out the onion pieces. Well, there you go. The onion pieces, and I keep this on my countertop. I know that's gross, but this is my composting. So I'm just going to put those onion pieces in my compost. Smells like coffee grounds. And this pretty much floated to the top, or stayed on the top. This out of the way. And then the next thing I'm going to do, which I probably just need to get my tongs, is I'm going to get these bones out. These are part of leg bones from a half a cow that I had processed. And I asked for the bones for this purpose. And let me tell you something. I got 2 dogs, especially my outside dog, that's going to be tickled pink with these bones. Now then, I know that a lot of people will reuse their bones. They'll get like 2 or 3 broths out of it. I haven't done that yet. I don't know that I will do that yet, because I've got plenty of bones to make more stock. And these would be a treat for my dog. Okay. Okay. And now we're going to strain it. Okay, what I have in here, this is the biggest bowl I own. And this is my like shelling peas and stuff, black eyed peas bowl that I got at a you know, like a county fair thing years ago. And I got 2 of them and I love them, but this is the biggest bowl that I have. This is just an old not washcloth, dishcloth that's made out of some muslin that is stained and ooky, but this is what I use to strain stuff like this, and it's fine. The stains ain't gonna hurt it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to lift this big tub over here to get it strained. Okay, it's not too bad. I think I need a bigger muslin. Still got some left, but we're getting to the top of the colander. I see some black pepper and stuff like that in there, and that's fine because that's seasoning, so we want that. Okay, so we are ready to start canning it up. I've got my broth here, and I will say this, that some people, they don't like the grease that's left in the broth. You can, if you've got room in your refrigerator, you can cover this, let it get cold in the refrigerator, and then you can take off the fat that solidifies on the top. And then you would have to reheat it and to go through your canning process. But that's a lot of trouble for me. I don't mind the extra fat that's in here. It gives flavor. So I'm going straight to hot packing this without skimming off the fat. Okay. I've got my jars in the oven getting hot, so I'm going to take one out at a time. So that they stay warm. I've got my canner on my stove. I filled it up, and I've got the eye going to get that water hot. And we're going to start filling. I really need to get something down here to catch any spills. Hot, hot, hot. Okay. And when I'm getting it, I am going to stir it around to kind of redistribute that fat. Let me lower you down so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go up to 1-inch headspace, which is this bottom wrong ring. I've got my lid sitting in warm water. And then my rings that you're going to just put on finger tight. And then I'm going to set this one in the canner. And I'm going to get another one. And we'll repeat the process. I'm not, you know what I did? I get ahead of myself because I'm in a hurry. I didn't wipe that rim. Let me get that one back. Real life, I'm not scripted or anything. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, and I got a little bowl of vinegar here, and I'll dab my paper towel in it. And then I'm going to run that across. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean this lid too. I got a cut on my finger and that vinegar burns. Okay. Okay, continuing on the right path, hopefully. So I'll just continue to do this for all my 7 quart jars. Don't let the color fool you. It looks like a chicken broth, but it's beef, and it's beefy. It is delicious. My bones didn't have a lot of meat, you know, left on it, which I think the more meat that you have on beef, ooh, that stings, the darker the color is. Some people throw in some chunks of meat when they're boiling their bones, but this is fine. It's going to taste beautiful. The first time I made it, I was like, oh, it's not that dark beef stock that I'm used to buying in the carton at the grocery store. And I was really disappointed. But when I cooked, I think I made vegetable beef soup with it the first time I ever made it and canned it. And it was delicious. I'm not adding any extra salt in here, if you'll notice, because I salted it when I put it all in the roaster pan in the beginning. And I just don't want, I'd rather have too little salt in here than too much. Because while you're using it to cook, you can adjust your salt as needed. Trying not to get that finger in that vinegar. Ouchie, ouchie. Those jars are hot, hot, hot. I got an interesting tidbit I'll share it with y'all. When I was at work today, this lady that comes in often, she is a retired school teacher. And we were talking about somebody, I mean, not gossiping about them. I was just asking if she was coming today. And about that time, she walked in the door, and Becky said, well, speak of the devil. And then she goes, I wonder where that come from, what that means, speak of the devil, when somebody you're talking about comes in. She goes, it sounds awful. And, you know, I was like, I don't know, I hadn't really thought about it. And she says, it's like when you say, the Lord willing and the creeks don't rise. Which that's a southern thing, I guess. I don't know if that's it's said up north, but it's like when you say, the Lord willing and the creeks don't rise. Which that's a southern thing, I guess. I don't know if that's it's said up north, but it's said up north, but you know, it's common, like when you're leaving work and somebody will say, I'll see you tomorrow, and you say, Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. Well, I always took it as, well, Lord willing, of course, and the creeks don't rise, meaning the water creeks don't rise and flood the roads. And she said it means the Creek Indians don't rise, meaning have a rising, a battle. And I never knew that. And several people confirmed that too. So anyway, if you're from the South and you've always said, you know, Lord willing and the creeks don't rise, and you thought it was because the creeks are rising in water and going to flood the roads out, you can't get somewhere, you're wrong, just like me. It means the Creek Indians. Learn something new every day. Let me know if you've ever heard that. Lord willing and the creeks don't rise. And if you know what it means, speak of the devil when somebody comes in or comes around that you're talking about. If you know what that means, let me know. It's all kind of these little, I'm sure northern people have all these little slang terms too. And I would say because of the Creek Indians, it has to be a very old saying. Got another one, which is from a show when I was young called Alice. I don't know if y'all remember that, Moe's Diner. And you had the character Flo, who was also a waitress, along with Alice, the main character, who is a waitress at Mel's Diner. And she'd always say, kiss my grits. So that's pretty common. Instead of saying something ugly to somebody, an ugly word, you say, kiss my grits. I wonder, did Flo invent that? I mean, are the writers of the show, Alice, did they invent that? Or was that said a long time? Where did that come from? Kiss my grits. Then there's another one too. I'm on a roll. Hang on. Then there's another one too, talking about a lazy person that won't work or anything. They say, a beat of sweat off him would cure AIDS. That's common around these parts. If there's a no-gooder or somebody too lazy to work and all that, they'll say, a beat of sweat off him would cure AIDS. Just all in fun, all in jest, nothing serious. Just all these country folk sayings. Okay, here's number 7. And that will be my canner full. I've still got some more in the pot. And I'm going to wait till these are done before I start heating everything back up again. And can those up. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I've got my 7 quarts in here, and the pressure canner is warming up. I've put about a little over an inch and a half of water and a splash of vinegar in here. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. Seal it up, and like always, I'm going to let this come up to a pressure. There'll be a steady stream of steam coming out here, and once there's a steady stream of steam coming out for 10 minutes, you time it for 10 minutes, And then you put the weight on, and then we'll bring it up to pressure, to 10 pounds of pressure. And for beef broth, I'm going to can quarts for 25 minutes. So I'll be back when it starts steaming. Okay, we have got a steady flow of steam. I don't know if you can see it. We got bubbling, gurgling, and all that going on. So I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes and let this bend for 10 minutes. Okay, it has been bending for 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put the weight on. And once it hits 10 pounds of pressure, I will start my timer for 25 minutes. It's going to go to right there. And we'll be back. Okay, I'm bringing one of these big old dinosaur legs bones out here to my dog. Maybelline! Come here, Maybelline! Come here, look what I got for you. She's thinking about it. Look at that. What are you going to do with it? It's too heavy for you to tote. Here, I'll put it down on the ground so you can get at it. That's delicious. I don't know what you're going to do with it that big, but I bet you can lay here and gnaw on it forever. Have fun. Okay, we're back. They have finished with their pressure canning, 25 minutes. I let it come all the way down to 0 pressure. And we can open the lid now. Let's see what we got. I'm doing this backwards. Looking good. I'm going to get all these out, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do for the next batch. Okay, excuse me. On the next batch, I had 3 quarts left in the broth. And I don't want to get this processing with just the 3 quarts in it. They can bubble, they can turn over, move around, and I don't want that. So what I've done is I filled up 3 additional quart jars with just water. I fill it up in water so it's heavy and it won't jostle around. And that should keep them pretty steady. So we're going to do the same process with this. I'm going to put the lid on, and we're going to restart the whole process and process this for 25 minutes. Okay, friends, that's how you make beef stock. It's very easy. I let my roaster do all the work, turned it on, and just let it be. And you don't have to have a half a cow process to be able to have bones. You can use your bones from your steaks, your roast, whatever. Get you a gallon size freezer bag, and you know, as you have bones, stick it in that freezer bag, put it in the freezer, and just collect it until you know you have about a gallon size worth of bones, and you can make stock from that. Very easy. I got 10 quarts out of that, and that's going to be delicious this winter when we're making soups and stews. So thanks for joining us. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe to my channel. Appreciate it. Bye.